welcome back to my channel, to all of my subscribers, and welcome if this is the first time you're joining me. My name is Odessa. I'm a mystic intuitive healer. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki master, spiritual coach, and an intuitive tarot card reader. And through the work I'm doing here on YouTube, as well as TikTok and Instagram and my website, I deliver messages to you guys that help you to awaken, heal, align, and grow. And I am so excited to tell you guys that I am going to be offering a free reading to a lucky subscriber. So if you are subscribed to the channel, that's amazing. You just need to comment on this video. And if you aren't subscribed yet, then this is the perfect opportunity. Subscribe to the channel, comment on this video, and you will be entered into the draw for the mini reading, which will be announced on April 1st. And I'm going to be continuing to offer free readings every single month. And I also offer mini readings where it's kind of like a giant pick a card on TikTok. So you might be interested in looking at that. And I'm also going to be doing giveaways and lives on TikTok. So definitely check that out. The links are below. So today's reading is a subscriber request, and I'm so excited to do it. We're going to be looking at healing messages of guidance coming directly from the angels for you. And if any of you guys have suggestions, you have readings that you've been wanting someone to do, then pop it in the comments below. Not only will I absolutely do that for you, but it will also enter you into the draw. So you've got 3 piles to select from. Pile number 1 is partnered with this strawberry calcite. Strawberry calcite is a stone that's connected to the high heart chakra, and it's also a stone that's known to promote optimism and joy, positivity. Pile number 2 is partnered with blue calcite. Calcites in general are amazing at bringing in positivity into our lives. The blue calcite is known to help clear the throat chakra that helps us to speak our truth. And then pile number 3 is partnered with this citrine point. This is heat treated citrine. So it's in its natural state, it's amethyst, and then they treat it and it turns this beautiful amber color. And what I like about heat treated citrine is that I find that it still has the same properties as citrine, where it helps you to manifest more abundance in your life. But amethyst is connected to the third eye. So the third eye helps you to connect with your angels and guides. And so the combination of the two helps you to hear directions from your angels and guides that will lead you towards abundance. So I will give you guys a second to select your pile, and I'll see you in a moment. Hi pile 1, welcome back. So before we get into the cards, I wanted to let you know I'm running a contest this month for a free reading with me, and all you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel and comment below. If you're already subscribed, then all you have to do is comment and you'll be entered into the draw automatically. I'm going to be announcing the winner on April 1st on my community tab. So take a look for that, and actually the more you comment, the better your odds are of winning, because the app that I use to select the winners takes into consideration all of the comments. So just a little tip for you guys. And this reading is a viewer suggestion. So if any of you guys have a suggestion for an upcoming reading, something that you've really wanted to have a reader explore, comment that below, because I'll definitely do the reading 100%. I'd love to have more suggestions from you guys so that I can deliver messages to you that really hit at the core of what, you know, is on your mind. So I've got your cards here. We're going to be looking into healing messages of guidance directly from the angels. You selected strawberry calcite, so I'm just going to put that aside. And let's see what cards you guys have. You've got reflection. See all aspects of yourself through the reflection of the one who mirrors your hidden self. That's really deep. Then you got Heart Guardian, love and let yourself be loved. That was the angel that you saw when you were selecting your pile. You got Good Luck, Trust, Step out of your comfort zone, North Node. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Zebra, let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. And Celestite, angelic communication. That literally says that on this card, angelic communication. Oh my God. Clarity, divine, and this is celestite, which is actually this crystal right here, is connected to the throat chakra. It's also connected to Gemini and Libra, so you might have prominent placements in your chart that are either of those signs, possibly both. The affirmation is, I am surrounded by eternal light and courage. Celestite brings calm and clarity to chaotic times and relieves stress and anxiety. It helps alleviate nervous energy and boost courage. It connects us to the divine energy and the angelic realms and helps clarify communication. And there is also a flower association for that particular crystal called beard tongue or penstemon. And it's connected to courage and spiritual knowledge. Wow. Okay, so the energy that I am getting from this is that your angels are trying to lead you towards your divine purpose. They're trying to guide you towards your, oh, I just got like a wave of emotion. Okay, I'm a medium as well, and I have clairsentience, so I actually feel things. So like I can feel the emotions surrounding this message. So basically what I feel like is happening right now is that you are in a position where you're supposed to be transitioning out of your old life into your new life. And the old life was fraught with different karmic lessons, life lessons. Not everything that's difficult in our life has to do with karma. Some of it has to do with just our own spiritual growth. And we decide on those things before we incarnate into this life. And it's all a matter of us creating connections with other souls in this life to mutually grow. And we learn the most from the pain, unfortunately. But we can be so entrenched in that old life that is full of pain and sacrifice that we don't recognize that we can actually transition into something else. And sometimes it's very difficult for our angels to help to guide us out of that old life because we're so entrenched in the fear of the unknown, and we are so sort of brainwashed really by society, possibly the other people that are in our lives that have been mistreating us or causing conflict or causing trauma in our lives, that we feel like it's like the Eight of Swords, which is a card talking about being in a prison of your own making. And that's oftentimes why the Tower has to come into our lives, because we are so entrenched in what we are already living in. We've gotten to a place of complete acceptance. You know, it's just like life is hard. This is the way it's always going to be. I just need to find gratitude for where I am right now, right? That anything outside of that norm, it's too big of a risk. It's too big of a risk. Every time we've tried to take risks in the past, somebody has beaten us down. And you have always had this strong drive towards a particular goal. I don't know whether you really knew all your life exactly what that particular life purpose is, but I feel like you have felt this way your whole life. And the reason I choked up there for a minute is I've lived this. Even this zebra, this is my logo for my business, you know, like this is my branding. And that wave of emotion was actually how I felt when I had to make this decision. So I really understand how, you know, conflicted and scary it can be, you know? And the tower comes in and it's a traumatic experience often where everything is ripped away from us, and we are forced to build ourselves up from the ground up because everything that is not in alignment with where we are supposed to be going is just swept out. So people that we had relied on, all of a sudden they're gone, or we lose jobs, or we get ill, or someone else gets ill. You know, it's like the worst of the worst. And you lose your sense of self. You lose your sense of identity. Nothing makes sense anymore. And all the people that you thought you could rely on are gone. Now, I don't know whether that's actually happened to you yet. What I feel like is happening right now is that your angels are trying to get you to make some of the tougher decisions and make adjustments in your life so that the tower doesn't have to come in, because really the tower is a choice. I chose the tower. That's what happened to me. You know, I was so entrenched in my old life that I was not going to risk losing everything that I had built, because it had been so hard to build just the little amount that I had built that I was like not willing to take the risk. And I needed to trust, right? I needed to trust my angels that they were guiding me in the right direction. I could hear the messages, right? And some of you might be psychic and you might actually be hearing messages. Like I have clairaudience as well. It comes through to me as like internal dialogue, right? It's the thoughts are in my own voice, but they feel like they're removed from me because the insight is like eye-opening to me. Like it's my own voice, but telling me things that literally change the way I look at the world. So it can't be me because I didn't think that way before, right? It might be coming through to you the same way. And I had these internal nudges, and I'm a psychic, right? Like I know that I can listen to my intuition and trust it. But it was such a risk. And at that time, I wasn't as like in tune with my gifts as I am now. So I knew that when I listened to my intuition, things worked out, but I had never allowed myself to take huge leaps of faith, right? I had never allowed myself to be the fool, which is like the first card in the major arcana in tarot. And just take that step forward, right? Like this step out of your comfort zone. North Node. North Node is connected to your divine purpose. Why you're here, you know? You know, gnawing inside you, like just that internal knowing where you knew that you were here to do something special. And when you're a child, the things that, and I'm getting goosebumps, so the things that you wanted to do when you were a kid are likely connected to what you're supposed to be doing, but it'll be a child's version of that, right? Like the way that a child like looks at being an adult. So you have to sort of try and like look beyond that. For myself, I had always said I wanted to be a teacher, and then I went in a totally different direction because of my other interests. But in a way, I am a teacher, right? I'm walking you guys through these spiritual concepts. I'm helping you to get these messages from your angels and your guides and your ancestors. And I am like the conduit which they use to deliver these messages. So I'm like helping basically interpret for you, which is a form of teaching. So think about it like that, you know, like you might have always wanted to be a witch, for example, right? Well, I would consider anyone who is a naturopath, any herbologist, anyone who works at a greenhouse, a witch, right? Like, so you have to like kind of like think about it that way. So definitely go back and start thinking about what you loved as a child, because I do feel like there's still this element of a negative force in your life that's pushing back against you, because this reflection card, see all aspects of yourself through the reflection of one who mirrors your hidden self, which sounds so cryptic. What this is talking about is mirroring, and mirroring is when you get triggered by somebody else's actions because it instills fear inside you. And some people respond to that with anger. Some people respond with sadness. Some people withdraw. Trolling is a perfect example, actually, of someone being triggered because of the projection due to mirroring. They are projecting onto the other person their own internal fears. And as a result, those two people can end up like sort of bickering back and forth online. They don't know each other. They have no investment in each other's lives. It's the mirroring aspect. And if you can start looking at the people around you as lessons, it will change everything for you. So you still, it's work, right? Like it took me a really long time to like finally get to the stage I'm at now when it comes to dealing with, you know, toxic people or people that are in their shadow aspects, people that are deeply entrenched in their trauma and see the world through lack mindset. You know, they see the cup as half empty. Whereas like when they would say negative things to me online, for example, or even my own family, I just dismiss it. Like, you know, when they don't celebrate my victories, I know that it's because it's making them feel inadequate, right? And it has nothing to do with me. But it definitely highlights the fact that those are not the people that I want to have close in my life, because I want people in my life that can celebrate my victories and not feel threatened by that, as I can celebrate theirs, because I recognize that there's enough for everyone, right? And we're all connected, and if we just listen to our intuition, it will lead us towards our own success. You know, and you are a light worker. There's something here that you're supposed to be doing. You might have your own spiritual gifts, right? Like I keep making all these references to spiritual gifts like clairsentience and clairaudience. You might very well have the ability to channel and speak with the angels yourself, and that your connection with the angelic realm might have something to do with bringing about birthing this new age. You might be interested in the healing arts in some capacity, whether that is in a spiritual form or whether that has something to do with like a more traditional role. Like you might want to start like some sort of class, or, you know, be a teacher or a mentor in your own right, you know, sharing your own knowledge. Well, that, like I was saying before, you know, you can fulfill that role and still have help from the angelic realm without being like a psychic, you know, without doing it in that capacity. You can do it in a number of ways. You could be doing that as being an artist or a musician, or maybe you're an advocate. Maybe you're involved in politics in some capacity, or you are interested in, they're talking to me about government, they're talking to me about physical health, they're talking to me about the environment. Like, there's so many different ways that this could manifest, because there's literally no area of society right now that doesn't need a tune-up. Like, so whatever you want to do, the angels are going to help you do it. But you have to have faith that you can do it. You have to believe that you can do it. You have to start leaning into your own heart space, right? So start off with finding that self-love for yourself and recognizing that the opinions of others are reflections of their own feelings about themselves, right? Back to this reflection card, and not really about you, right? Like, they might be telling you things that are flatly untrue just because they want you to stop doing whatever it is that you're doing as well, right? Like, they might see your light. They might think you could achieve a lot, and that makes them afraid, because if you succeed, then they're left there all on their own, and they don't want to have to face that, because deep inside they feel like they're failures, you know? So they want everyone to be failing at the same rate as them, which is so sad, because they actually have their own divine purpose. Everyone is here for a different reason. Everyone is serving a different purpose. And they're going to have to go through their own healing journey to love themselves. But if you can step away from that and get clarity on the situation, right? Really start questioning it. Like, when something happens, ask yourself, what am I supposed to be learning from this? It will feel weird at first, but like, what am I supposed to learn from this? Like, when you call your mom with a big achievement and she has literally no response or won't answer the phone, what do you learn from that? Well, you learn that you have to be the biggest cheerleader for your successes, that you don't need anyone else to feel happy for you to be, you know, like celebrating this victory, you know, that you don't need the praise of others for it to be an accomplishment. You just have to know it inside your heart. And like, if you're the only one there celebrating, who cares, you know? Crack that bottle of champagne, dance in your living room, put on the music that you love, eat the food you love, and have a little party just for yourself. You know, we are brainwashed into thinking that the opinions of others outweighs our opinion of ourselves. It outweighs everything else. But like, what do we weigh that on? You know, like, are these people successful? And I don't mean, do they have money? I mean, are they successful in their lives? Do they have people around them that love them? Do they have successful relationships that are grounded on trust and balance? Do they feel fulfilled in their everyday lives? Are they doing something that they love? Are they getting up every morning excited about what this day is going to bring to them? Or are they complaining every day? Are they like constantly having conflict with other people? Are they grinding through their day because they hate their work, and then they spend the rest of the time off complaining about that and dreading the next day? If that's their experience, then why would you care what they think anyways, right? This is a lesson that I had to learn. And it was hard. It was really hard. And if you can learn that lesson, it doesn't mean you have to get rid of all of those people, right? Then you can actually have them around you, but they're not going to be dragging you down. Ultimately, you probably will want to distance yourself from some of these people, because you'll have that clarity that I keep talking about. And that's when you're going to start to align with all of these people that are wanting to birth this same vision for you. But you have to like overcome that fear. You have to recognize that you're protected at all times. Yes, bad things happen to us, but they happen to us so we can learn lessons and grow. We can't avoid pain. Pain is inevitable, but you get to choose if you're going to suffer. You get to choose if you're going to suffer. You can ruminate and ruminate and ruminate and ruminate on all the things that went wrong in the past, and you can tell yourself that you failed and you shouldn't have done this and you shouldn't have done that. But that doesn't change the past, and it's not manifesting a different outcome in the future either, because you haven't set up strong boundaries for yourself. Like, yes, this happened to me. It was unjust. I didn't deserve this. I am a beautiful person and I deserve to be happy every single day of my life. I give love, therefore I deserve to receive love. I am going to do it differently. And I'm not going to let somebody gaslight me. And I'm not going to let them mirror and project onto me. And if they think that, me putting up boundaries and having self-respect and putting my needs first is selfish, so be it, right? Because all I've been doing is grinding and grinding and grinding, trying to get their approval that is absolutely unachievable. For many of you, I do feel like it has a connection to either really old friends, love partners that you've been with for long periods of time, or family members that you've known your entire life where they just cannot be pleased. They're just always unhappy, and they band together and they point the finger at you, so you end up being like the black sheep. You feel like you're the weird one. No, you're the only enlightened one, and that's why you were brought into that family because they needed somebody who had a different vibration to start healing the karmic debt. Like karma, negative karma, and trauma is intergenerational. It will be like two parents making bad decisions, not because they want to, but because they're still entrenched in their own trauma and they're refusing to face it and heal. So then the trauma that was inflicted on them due to decisions their parents made, they inflict on their own children because they haven't learned how to do anything different. And then so on and so on and so on and so on. And then you get like 8 generations of traumatized people all trying to coexist. It doesn't work, right? They're projecting onto each other all of their trauma. And sure enough, they'll be able to find somebody else in the family that will back them up. But it's like there's never like cohesion. There's never balance. There's never peace. It's just all kinds of division. It's like they're right and they're wrong and that's the way it is. It's like, but it doesn't have to be black and white thinking. You can exist in a full spectrum of color where everyone is able to share their opinions and there's still unity. That's what the rainbow is all about, like all the different colors of the spectrum, all coexisting together. So I know it's scary, I really do, but I would encourage you to lean into like what your angels are trying to communicate to you, right? Like start praying. And if praying is like that term doesn't work for you, that's okay. Just start manifesting, right? It's the same idea. You start like talking to your guides through the power of your own thoughts, just daydreaming about what you want and be open to what they might be bringing forward to you. So you could start working with crystals. Obviously, celestite would be a fabulous crystal for you to work with, and it's not too expensive. It is relatively fragile, so you have to be careful with it. This isn't something you want to just like have knocking around in your bag or your purse. It can't go in water either. But if you just got a little, like this little tumbled stone, I think I paid $4 for this. And, I just keep it by my bedside and it will do the work for you, right? You can just set your intentions on the crystal. Like you just hold it and you just ask it to help you to overcome the fear, open your, crown chakra and your third eye so that you can clearly hear the messages that are coming from your guides and angels, right? It's that simple. You just also need to spend some time on your own because the energy I'm getting is that there's like, I just feel like there's people swirling all around me and it's like there's voices constantly all around me. Now you might have a big family, so you might be taking care of a lot of people. There might be more than one generation of people around you all living under the same roof and it's hard. Then take some time to go outside, like even if it is for 5 minutes so that you can just breathe. Breathing on its own is a meditation. Just stopping and just allowing yourself to, for once, feel what the sensations in your own body are. That's when you're really going to start to get a baseline for what you feel like versus what other people feel like. Because what we end up doing, especially highly sensitive people, is you start to sort of absorb some of this frustration. Like, you're psychic. You're for sure picking up on people's feelings. I brought up clairsentience. So you might be around people that are under a lot of stress, and then you feel even more anxious because you're so highly attuned to their energy. So it's really important that you clear that out. I always recommend salt baths because they were a game changer for me. Literally a game changer. And I will try and have a salt bath every single week, just like to de-stress, right? Like just to meditate and lie in the bath. It's just regular salt that I use. I use sea salt, but you can use literally any kind of salt. It could be table salt. It doesn't matter. But it will detoxify your system and really help you to feel like what your own baseline is, right? So once you've removed everyone else's energy, all that like lower vibrational energy that's been magnetized to your own system, once you remove all of that, then you know how you naturally feel, right? So let me get some final messages for you guys from the angels. What would the angels like? Pile number... Okay, here we go. Yes! Oh my God, this is confirming everything I was just talking about. Oh, this is so beautiful. Okay, so you got the 10 of Swords, which is talking about you being in a position where you're under a lot of stress and you're experiencing a lot of pain. There are most likely people that have stabbed you in the back. They've really treated you very, very badly. And it's time to bring that to an end. It's time for you to move forward, right? The Six of Swords is talking about transitioning away from something. It's about releasing the baggage. And your guides are telling you this already. You've got the Four of Cups, which is talking about getting intuitive insight but not wanting to take it. Now, there's a really good chance that you are unsure whether you actually have any of these abilities. I promise you, you do. You do, you do, you do. Like, there's strong indications here linking you back to psychic abilities. And this is my own journey. And like, there are kind of set scripts for people. Like, the circumstances and the like physical players in people's lives are different, but it's like the same. Like we all sort of go through a similar situation on our route towards becoming a master healer, is what they want me to say. They literally said to me, master healer. I was just gonna say healer, and they're like, say master. And I'm like, like I said, I have clear audience. So they'll repeat words over and over and over and over and over in my head. And I just heard master, 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 master. So sometimes that's why my speech, I'll slow down a little bit and then I like speed up again. It's because I have to slow down to like listen to them and then translate for you. So yeah, they're telling me that you need to start erecting boundaries because you got the Nine of Wands. And this is the wounded warrior. Like, you've been through it. You've completed lessons. Like, this is end of a cycle energy. It's. I know you're concerned that this isn't the end. That's why you still have these boundaries up. That's why, or like and when I say boundaries, it's like you have not protective boundaries. You have restrictive boundaries. You have boundaries where you're not going to allow yourself to like go out of your comfort zone because now you've been able, like, you can handle this. You can handle this. It's not great. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of really difficult people, but at least I can handle this, right? And your guides are like, and your angels are like, no, 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 no. It's time for that to end and you to move towards something that's more fulfilling. At the, I believe it's called the prow, the front of this boat, is a swan. And swans mate for life. This is talking about you having a lifelong connection with your divine purpose and another group of people. Like, you got the good luck card. Like, there's positive things manifesting for you that the angels are all lining up for you, and they just want you to start moving towards that goal, whatever it is, right? Start studying, start laying the groundwork. And it might take you a while. Like, you got the Page of Pentacles, which is talking all about being a scholar and starting to like sort of invest in that new future. Now, if it's not a new business, it could just be investing in the types of people you want to be around. Or maybe it's going to a different company, switching your jobs to a different company, or investing in going to that class you've always wanted to, you know, learn how to felt, for example, or you've always wanted to learn how to use power tools and you like, or fix your own car. Do it. Invest in whatever it is that is sort of like repeatedly coming back in your mind over and over and over again. That's the thing that you're supposed to be doing. Just dive into it, because it's going to bring about a lot of abundance. There's a rabbit here, which is a symbol of abundance because they rapidly multiply, right? And I'm taping this in at the very beginning of spring, and there's all kinds of spring-like symbols here. So there might be something manifesting for you really soon. Regardless of when you see this, even if it's not spring, the energy I get is if you start investing, you start leaning into your divine purpose and talking about it, because the color blue is really coming forward to me. And celestite is a blue crystal. You know, even this one, it looks like it's white, but it's a very, very, very pale blue. And that's connected to the throat chakra. So say out loud, even if it's to yourself, what you want, you know, or write it down in a journal. Because you have to plant the seeds for anything to start germinating and growing. And then you have to start investing in relationships where it's balanced, because the Six of Pentacles is talking about a fair and even trade. So if somebody is constantly taking from you, you need to release them or put them at a distance. And sometimes it's hard to even recognize that. You might have been in dynamics where everyone always took from you. You always had to work hard for people's love. You always had to work hard for people's friends. I know that's how it was for me. I was like totally brainwashed into thinking like what my role should be. Like, I was just always giving, and then people would give me like the bare minimum, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like I helped you with this, I do that for you, I build you up. It's because they were just in their shadow, you know? They loved having my energy around them because I gave them all that stuff. But the minute I needed something, gone, you know? And it's like, you don't deserve that. And you can just choose to not take anyone on like that anymore. The minute your intuition is like, you know, sort of like whispering in your ear, telling you that this is a red flag or you need to be cautious of this person, just cut them out of your life, because you're being told that for a reason. And ultimately your destiny is the Ten of Pentacles, which is it literally says here, financial security for yourself and your family, inheritance or retirement, peace and contentment in life, honoring family traditions, pride in the family tree, passing on knowledge. Passing on knowledge. I keep getting that feeling like you're supposed to be teaching something. You know, and that could be any number of things. It's passing on knowledge is what I'm talking about. That's your destiny. You're supposed to be passing on knowledge. You're going to align with other people. And if it's not your biological family, it's your chosen family, right? We're all connected on a soul level anyway. So even if somebody isn't blood related to you in this life, they are your family. We all come from source. We are all connected. And the Ten of Pentacles is like financial security. And this is like more money than you know what to do with, so that you can utilize your skills to help bring about change in the rest of the world, right? Like the people that have these kinds of skills and know how to love and care and and be fair are the people that should have the money, because they're going to do the right things with it. So I'm going to get one final card for you guys with a final piece of guidance coming for you on healing from the angels. With guidance, you have for pile number 1. Oops. There we go. Oh my God, you got the card Labyrinth. Transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibration, enlightenment. I love it. So what they're saying is start working on the things that you love and working on making yourself feel whole and beautiful. Start really investing time and energy and telling yourself how beautiful, accomplished, successful, intelligent, caring, compassionate, tell yourself all those beautiful things, because they're all true. And by doing that, you're raising your vibration. And then you're going to attract other people that think the same way as you. Like I keep talking about attracting like-minded people. Well, what that means is people that vibrate at the same level as you. So if you want to be around people that value other people's friendship and want to give back and understand about equity, right? They understand about being charitable and equality and being somebody who wants to invest in making the world a better place. If you want those people in your life, you have to become one of those people. And even if you're one of those people all on your own, you might lose people, right? Like I said, I walked my path by myself for 2 years, completely by myself. And it gave me an opportunity to really get to know myself and really start to appreciate myself and realize how amazing I am, so that I could then step into my full power and start sharing my gifts with all of you. And throughout that process, people started to come into my life that were equally healed and were willing to, have a fair, balanced partnership with me, right? On every level of my life. And it was so rewarding, and I would never go back to how things were, because I know that, one, I'm never alone, because I always have my guides and angels with me at all times, my ancestors, and my dogs freaking love me and want to spend time with me all the time. So I'm good. And now I have this new group of friends, and I'm getting to know you guys too. And it's like so rewarding and so fulfilling. And you can have that too. You can have that too. Now, no matter what, you're going to end up there. It's just, this is the easier path forward for you, because if you walk this path with being heart-centered and really having faith and trust, then you will kind of avoid a lot of the pain that I experienced, right? Because like for myself, I lost my relationship, all of my close friends, my family, my dog, and my job all within a year. Everything was gone. And it was the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. And my father had died when I was in my 20s. And I thought that was the worst thing that had ever happened to me. And this was definitely worse. It shattered me. And I would highly recommend that you try and avoid a situation like that. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen like that for you, right? Like everyone has their own story, and that was my story. So your tower moment, if it ever happened, would be something different and unique to you. But I mean, if you can have faith, you can avoid that, right? You really can. And you can then move towards this 10 of Pentacles at a faster rate. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. It was so fun doing this one. I really enjoyed it. I was so happy for the suggestion. And if you guys want to participate in the contest, Subscribe to the channel and comment below if you have an idea for another pick a card, like a theme that you want me to go with. Write that in the comments. If any of you guys are interested in seeing more of my work, check out TikTok because I have mini readings over there. I post every single day and you can kind of use my profile as a giant pick a card, right? Like just scroll until something calls out to you. That'll be your reading. I'm also going to be doing live readings over on TikTok as well, so that you guys can actually ask me direct questions and get answers to the things that are going on in your life. I'll be doing collective readings live over there as well. All of it's free, so the links are below. And if anyone would like to have a one-on-one extended reading personalized to you, you can go to my website, odessamall.com, and all of my services and booking information is there. And I just started doing Akashic reading records over there as well. That is listed under mediumship and channeling. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It was such a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next reading. Take care. Welcome back, pile number 2. I'm so excited to get into this reading. This was a viewer suggestion, and I love hearing about the reading suggestions that you guys have. If you comment below and let me know what your ideas are, I will definitely do the reading. And before we get into the cards, I wanted to mention, in case you missed the intro, I'm doing a contest this month for a free reading with me. So all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and comment below. And honestly, the more you comment or the more videos you comment on, the better your odds of winning are, because the app that I use to select the winner takes into consideration not just subscribing to the channel, but also how many comments you have added to the videos. So just an extra, tip there if you want to win the reading with me. All right, so let's get into these cards. You guys selected blue calcite, so I'm gonna put that over here and let's see what you have. Fruition. Rest assured your dreams and visions will come to fruition. Air guardian. Shift your perception. That's the angel that you selected. Financial health. Ooh, that's exciting. Oh, wow. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. Oh, wow. Pile number 2. Soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Chameleon. Stay in the background and adapt to the situation rather than being conspicuous and attempting to direct the course of events. Oh, wow. And you got malachite, calming, protection, amplifying. And it says on the back that it is connected to the heart chakra. It is also connected to the astrological signs for Capricorn and Scorpio. So you might have prominent placements in your chart that are either one or both of those signs. And the affirmation is, I encourage positive transformation and balance. Malachite absorbs electromagnetic pollution and negative energies. It clears and activates chakras and connects us with source energy. It can help balance mood swings, enhance empathy towards others, and releases negative energies. And it's connected to the, I want to say, anemone wildflower. Which is connected to protection, anticipation, and transformation. And this is so wild. I did a channeling session, a mediumship session recently, and in my mind, I saw this flower that was white and had a dark center that was all fluffy. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's so tiny. It was this flower, and I didn't know what the flower was, and now I do. That is like really bizarre. Okay, so wow. So you guys are moving towards your abundance. There is something that you've been trying to manifest that has to do with your financial health. So it's like work related in some way. You might have started your own business. You might have started a new school program, or you've applied to a new school program, or you're applying for new jobs or a promotion or something. Like, you're definitely working towards something, and you're taking active steps because air is connected to the sword suit in tarot. That element is connected to communication, and this particular angel, it says shift your perspective. So it looks to me like you might have been trying to sort of like the energy I'm getting is micromanagement. Like you're looking at every detail. You're trying to make sure that everything is going to go off without a hitch, that it's absolutely going to come into your life. And you're being asked to actually take a step back. And oh my God, my friend, I had a really hard time learning this lesson. I've experienced this too. Okay, so, you have already come into alignment. Like, you know what your life purpose is, the energy I get, or at least you know what the next step is on your path forward. And you know that it's going to bring you a lot of abundance and success. You know it's going to give you enough material wealth to be like completely established, completely comfortable. But even though you've taken all the steps that you were told to take, right? Intuitively, you got insight, you were told, apply to this or go there or buy this. You did those things and you're like, where is my blessing? Where is my manifestation? Why is this not coming into my life? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And you are being encouraged to remember that you are protected, to stay calm, right? Because it says calming, protection, and then amplifying. That's what's really key here. And then look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. And the bow here is a symbol of setting your sights on your goal and then moving towards that, right? But you are so laser focused on the minute details of things that you're not giving the manifestation enough room to breathe. And in a way, you're actually manifesting a delay in your success, because it's like the saying, watch pot never boils. What you're doing is, I'll give you an example that I can relate to in my own life that makes sense to me. So as I'm building this channel, in the beginning stages of it, I was constantly watching to see where my subscriber count was, because I had this goal. I knew that I was supposed to be at a certain place and that it was going to move in a certain direction. And I just kept looking and looking and looking and looking. And it, in the beginning, it was not going anywhere. And it was because every time I looked at it, I was like, oh, it didn't go up. I said something negative, basically. And it's I was manifesting a slow start. I was manifesting a delay in the growth. And you are doing that same thing in regards to whatever it is that you are trying to manifest. So if you're trying to get into school, maybe you keep checking your email over and over and over and over again and waiting oh, is the response there yet? Is the response there yet? Did I get in? Did I get in? And it's just, it's not there, it's not there, it's not there. Because you're telling the universe that you want to continue to build anticipation and wait. Because that's how the law of attraction works. Whatever you think about, you bring about. So in a way, you have to kind of give it space. You have to sort of step back to allow there to be enough air circulating around your manifestation for it to be able to be larger than you expected, right? For it to amplify. And in that time, in that moment, it will be difficult, because you're going to be wanting to focus all of your energies on your goal, because you know that it takes more than just wishful thinking to manifest. You have to like set your sights on something, make a decision on what you want, and then start actively taking steps towards it. And then the universe will help you along. But you are burning yourself out to a certain degree, and you're not able to like look at things from a higher perspective, which means that you might actually be missing out on little minor opportunities that could bring either more growth for you or a faster conclusion to your manifestation, looking at the bigger picture. If you can take a step back and start focusing on your self-care and find better balance. I'm getting work-life balance, and start spending more time with your friends and family, the people that are uplifting and positive in your life, your manifestation will be here before you know it. You need to like lean on other people. Now, if you are feeling really, really stressed, and you've been keeping that a secret, and you haven't been wanting to tell anyone how financially strapped you are or how stressed you are about whatever this is that you're trying to manifest, you're being encouraged to actually open up and start talking to people. Now, you don't need to tell them every detail if that's not, in your nature. Like I'm not encouraging you to do anything that's going to make you feel unsafe. But what I am encouraging you to do is move towards the people that really care about you and make you feel better about yourself, because it's going to help raise your vibration and heal your system, because there's a possibility that this manifestation is being delayed because energetically you're out of whack, right? That you haven't healed enough, like you're drained. Like I was doing this too, like building my business where I would like stay up like until like 2-3 o'clock in the morning working on something. And my guides finally got to, like, I am the type of person that is constantly being forced into tower moments. My guides were finally like, if you don't take a break, then we'll like make something happen where you have to take a break. And then I ended up getting a cold, right? Like, so I had to take a break at that point. Whereas I could have just like not like fought it because I'm a workaholic. I could have just not fought that and just like gone and done something fun, right? Hung out with my friends, go and do something fun. I love to thrift shop, go thrift shopping, whatever it is that you like doing, invest in that. Because then you'll be able to avoid your own cold, your own tower moment, whatever it is that the universe will bring into your life that will slow you down. Because they are saying that you have to take a step back. Now, it might also be don't engage with people that are lower vibrational, that are taking you out of alignment and taking you off course from your manifestation. Like say you are wanting to succeed at being an artist, yet your family thinks that art is a hobby, not a career, and they're constantly telling you that you need to get practical and get a real job. It's probably better for you to distance yourself and not spend as much time with your family at this critical stage, because they are drawing on your energy and you are then questioning whether this is even viable, which then again slows down your manifestation because you got boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? So like I was saying before, boundaries could mean that you have to have better boundaries with yourself and you need to do more self-care and you need to slow down. But it could be other people that are not being supportive of you. And that's where this chameleon card, I feel like that really plays into it as well, where I'm getting the energy that you have a warrior spirit. Like that you really, especially with this Sagittarius, that you really have this vibe about you, like you want to be able to lead the charge, that you want to be able to voice your truth. You want to have people listen to you, I think in the past, maybe I've been in the middle of a lot of conflict because I think you're very wise and you have a lot to share. And people that I think were older than you, I'm like specifically thinking that there was adults in your life that would want to put you in your place, right? Like would say demeaning things to you, like, oh yeah, when I was your age, I thought I knew everything as well. Really, they're being triggered because they actually didn't know anything when they were younger. You're an older soul than them. You have more abilities. But oh my God, my guides just said to me that Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility. Sometimes you have to allow them to just like indulge themselves, right? Like sometimes you have to like step back, look at it from a higher perspective, and even if they're like 30 years older than you, just think of them like they're toddlers, right? Like, you know, like when a toddler comes up to you and is all excited and passionate about something and it's totally wrong, you don't belittle them for it or, you know, say something condescending. You most of the time are kind of supportive and will be like, oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, you know, like I think that's great. You should keep working at that. Or, oh yeah, I'll really think about that. You know, like, but you're not ever actually going to do whatever it is that they suggested to you. I mean, there are toddlers out there that are wise old souls. I see them on social media all the time. I'm like, that kid just said what? But oftentimes we just sort of like, you know, encourage them to have their own thoughts, right? You can do that with people that are older than you too. You can just sort of step back, let them say whatever they're gonna say, just sort of adapt yourself to the situation. And I'm not talking about being in a toxic way. You don't have to be agreeable. You don't have to like adjust yourself so that you meet their needs and you do a whole bunch of stuff that you don't want to. It's just don't engage in the argument anymore. Don't engage in the battle because they don't get it. They're never going to get it. They're not old enough on a soul level to get it. You're being given divine wisdom. You know that. We're walking in the right direction. Your manifestations are going to come into bloom. You just have to wait, right? They're just like starting to, you're like so close. I get the energy that you're so close. It's just starting to bubble up into the physical, but you're kind of like holding on too tight, and the fighting or like trying to defend yourself is what the energy I'm getting. Trying to defend yourself, like you need to, you have a sense inside yourself that you need to convince them, but you'll never convince them. And you should just take that energy and pour that into your self-care, or pour that into some creative idea, or even into this business in a healthy way, or this like whatever this manifestation is in a healthy way. Yeah, stop trying to control the opinions or the actions of others, because you can't. You know, wouldn't it be nice if we could? But we can't. They have to learn their lessons for themselves. There's nothing we can do to change that, you know? And we were there too at one point, right? I believe in reincarnation. I believe we're infinite beings. So to get to be an old soul, you have to have been a young soul at some point. So all of the ridiculous things that we see other people doing or saying or subscribing to or thinking or whatever, we've been there. I mean, it was a different time period, so the circumstances were slightly different. But have we, you know, been, you know, like really staunch in our beliefs, very rigid in our beliefs, or been narcissistic before, or been hurtful to other people? Absolutely. Maybe even in this life, you know, it's possible to be a certain way and then grow beyond that. That's part of the judgment card, that awakening in tarot. But you can just sort of quietly observe and start focusing on adapting yourself like the chameleon to your environment. Now, that doesn't just include, I'm not saying put on a false mask around people that are toxic. I'm saying just allow them to just be who they are and not expect them to be anything different, and don't allow that craziness from them, because that's the energy I'm getting, that it's like kind of like forceful energy trying to force me into doing something I don't want to do. Especially with this boundaries card, with all these hands coming in to like claw at this person. You have to be sort of zen about it and just allow them to burn themselves out. And then utilize that energy to adapt yourself to the perfect energy to bring in the manifestation, right? And that is going to be a sense of inner peace and calm, having 100% faith that you're going in the right direction. Like if you can feel your heart chakra warm and glowing, you are in the right energy, right? And we've all had those moments before, right? Where you're like just so happy something amazing happened, and it's like you feel like you're just like vibrating or you're glowing, like you can feel warm inside. There's a reason why people say that, like that saying, like when something nice happens and they're like, oh, it just makes me feel all warm. Well, it's because your chakras, like they vibrate at a higher rate. You do feel warm. So that's the primary message here. Like, let's see what else the angels want to tell you guys. Yeah, they're saying to me, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. What would the angels like to tell pile number 2? Angels like to tell pile number 2. Okay. This is amazing. This is exactly what I was talking about. Oh my God. This is nuts. Okay, so you got the 5 of Swords and you also got the 5 of Wands. And these cards are talking about battles, right? These are the the 5s in general in tarot are talking about conflict. It's like that point in the lesson, you know, in our journey, and we go through many throughout our lives, where it's the hardest. And the 5 of Wands is talking about battles. It can be like what I was talking about before with like conflicts with other people, like they're arguing with you. Sometimes it can be healthy sparring matches or debates, you know, in a healthy way. But the energy I get from this, because of this 5 of Swords, is that it is not healthy. That there's people in your life that are trying to argue with you because they want to be right, and they might not even believe what they're saying. They just want to win at all costs, and it's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for them, and they're gonna have to move out of that. But you don't have to participate in that. You can make a decision, you can make a choice to go in a different direction because you have free will. So we all do, right? I like to visualize it almost like at every point in our life, we are at the center of our spider web, and each strand of the spider web is a different path you can go down. And when you walk down that one path, it will lead you to other opportunities. Just like when the spider web spreads out, there's all the other strands that are interconnected. That's like our lives. So at every single point in time, you are always at the center of the spider web, and you always have infinite number of possibilities around you. Some of them are good and some of them are bad, which is what the 7 of Cups is talking about. You can make a decision that will possibly end up in some pain for you. Or you can make a decision that's going to bring about a lot of joy and balance. Neither decision is right or wrong. No matter what you decide, you made the right decision, because even if you make a decision that causes you pain, like I say all the time, you learn the most from the pain. So if you learn a lesson on a really deep, profound level, that's great, because you're an infinite being and you live forever. So then that's a lesson you're not going to have to learn in the future, right? So you can't make a wrong decision, but you can cause yourself pain. So if you can listen to your intuition and you can start moving forward with authority, like you are being encouraged to start to like plan and move forward with determination, because you got the Knight of Pentacles, which is talking about paying attention to all the circumstances around you, being mindful of what your angels are trying to tell you, being mindful of divine timing, which is definitely what's going on here, because you've been waiting, and not to be too reckless in moving forward with your ideas or with your actions. You'll know, like, if you feel like you're pushing against a brick wall and it's like, no matter what I do, I can't seem to move forward, it's because you're not supposed to move forward. It's because you're supposed to be resting, recuperating, and looking at things from a higher perspective. It might mean that it's because you need to get people or things out of your life that aren't going to serve you in the future, that would work against you. Like, you don't want to be surrounded by a whole bunch of people that are only about wealth and you know, praise and fame, if all of a sudden you find yourself famous, right? Because those are people that are definitely going to steal from you. They're going to take advantage of you. You want to close out those cycles and get rid of those people before you win the lottery or something, so that you are surrounded by people that really are going to be having your best interests at heart. You don't want to be constantly like watching your back. And you are meant to be a brilliant leader. Like, you got the Queen of Wands. So for many of you, like I was saying before, you might be entrepreneurs, or I wanted to say influencer, but I got innovator. So you are possibly an innovator in some capacity. Like, you might have a great idea that you want to launch, and it's just a matter of you believing in yourself and stepping into that, because the Queen of Wands has charisma. She has style. She is a great leader. She's someone that people want to watch, you know, and even if that isn't how you perceive yourself on a personal level, right? Even if you feel kind of shy or removed from people, it's in your energy. So if you were not like super outgoing naturally, you might still find that people are really magnetized to the work that you create, because that energy of attraction comes through in your painting or your writing or whatever your business is. You're going to be known, you're going to be successful. You just need to keep listening to your intuition, and you're going to hone those skills. You got the Emperor. You're going to finally get to a place where you're a master of, you know, what you've been trying to achieve. You are going to have all of the structure in place to be able to execute this on a really large scale. Like, the Emperor is the master of everything that the divine masculines in the four suits represent. So the King of Wands, Swords, Cups, and Pentacles. He has mastered all of the lessons in each of those areas, and he's in complete attunement with his higher self. And you are going to have that. And you got the final cards that you got. It's going to bring you the World, closing out of this cycle and moving then into a brand new abundant future. It says right here, a brilliant success, a time of joyful accomplishment and spiritual enlightenment, freedom to do whatever you want, be proud of yourself. This is complete balance too. This card is talking about positive karma, and the energy I'm getting is that you've closed out all of the karmic lessons that you needed to learn in this life. That it's time for you to have your rewards. Like, it's time for you to have your brilliant future. And the final card is the Ten of Cups, which is the happy family card. It talks about there being emotional contentment and success, and really being able to trust people and having all of your wishes fulfilled. Having everything that you wanted. If you wanted a successful business, you've got it. If you want to have a group of friends that you can really rely on and trust, you have that as well. If you wanted to have, children, or you want to have like you want to win an award or get a promotion or buy a car or like go on a vacation. All of that will be at your disposal. You'll be able to have all of that. It really is going to be a matter of you really focusing on your own needs. And I'm really strongly getting grounding your energy. I feel like there are times when you are sort of out of balance, where will vibrate high in your chakras, like you'll be very in your head, and then it'll flip like a switch, and then you're really grounded in the physical. So for example, it's like you might be unsure about your daydreaming, you're thinking about all the things that you want to do, and in that moment you spend a lot of time on your own. Maybe you're reading, you're not like being active and doing a lot, you're doing a lot of introspection, and then the light switch will flip, and then you get into a more physical role where it's like actions. But in that moment you get kind of disconnected from your higher chakras, and you kind of get out of alignment with your intuition. And it's like finding that balance, because you'll get there and you're like, oh my God, now I don't know what to do next. And it's a matter of grounding out your energy and balancing all of your chakras. The reason I'm feeling that way is this woman is in this pose, but all of her chakras are glowing. So you might want to try meditation. You might want to try getting a Reiki session done. You might want to try sound healing is coming forward to me. Crystal healing, sound healing you could do through YouTube, actually. There's a lot of different really great recordings on YouTube with sound clearing and healing. You definitely, I feel like you need to cleanse your space, and different people do it in different ways. Some people literally will meditate to clear their space. Some people will use Reiki and Reiki symbols. I do that all the time. Some people, I use crystals also to clear my space, like a selenite wand and black tourmaline. You could use Florida water. You could use incense. You could use like a smoke clearing. There's lots of different ways that you can clear a space, but that is highly being pointed out to me. I strongly encourage you to do that as well, and start journaling about what you want. Really start to like, just for your own healing, like to really get into focus what the options are in front of you, and like one by one listing out like, why would you want this? Once you write out why that would be a good decision for you, and then once you read through, you will know. Like there'll be like arguments where like why this is a good decision for you that will be like hands down the winner, whereas others are like, yeah, okay, that's a positive, but that's not as much of a positive as this other, right? So I highly encourage you to do that. And so let's see, we'll get a final message or two from your angels about what you need to do to move forward and heal. There's more than one that wanted to go out. What final messages do you have for pile number 2? Okay. All right, so you got breaking bad habits, self-acceptance, excellent mental health, and letting go of vices. Yes, self-care, focusing on what you need. I know that it can be sort of against our nature, especially if we grew up in families where they asked a lot of us and didn't give a lot back. You end up feeling like if you take any time for yourself that somehow you're being selfish. But that is the programming that has come from those outside of you. It is healthy and encouraged by the universe to give back to yourself. When you don't, you're not functioning at your highest capacity. Like when you're exhausted and you're stressed, you can't think clearly. Like they have medical research on this, right? And trauma as well, like being in environments where you're constantly being triggered and re-traumatized, you can't make wise decisions. It's really difficult. So take some time on your own. I think that being in solitude or being in silence could really help. And if it feels too awkward to literally just be sitting in a room in complete silence, put on some meditation music. That's fine. And it will really help you to just sort of relax. And I would recommend trying to visualize like all of the muscles one by one in your body relaxing. And you can try and like flex the muscle or tighten your muscle and then relax it. So you can really feel what it feels like to be relaxed. Because sometimes we just naturally carry a lot of stress in our bodies and we don't really know what it feels like to release that. You could also do that in the bath, you know, because like, and salt baths, I love them. I think they're amazing. I recommend them like 25,000 times a day. But like they help to also release that stress and tension in your muscles. So you could do that exercise in the bath as well. You got self-confidence, strong self-belief, and a sense of worth. Yes, have confidence that this is coming towards you. Like what I see is it's your destiny, that you've already figured out what your life purpose is. So it's just a matter of having faith and continuing to move forward. Even if you have a hard time taking on the recommendations that I just gave you from your angels, it's okay. You're gonna eventually get there. Don't worry. It will definitely come into balance for you. Just have confidence in that. And try and manifest that. You could listen to sleep affirmations or subliminals that are geared towards finding inner peace and having confidence. That can really, really help you. Those were a big game changer for me as well. You got safe and happy travel, protection from harm when journeying. You see, you're protected on this journey. Like, yes, bad things happen to us. Absolutely. You know, I work every day on staying in alignment, and I still have things that happen to me that hurt me or don't work in my favor. It happens. But in those moments, I like to think to myself, okay, what can I be learning from this? You know, why would this be happening to me? And how can I make it better in the future? You know, like how can I reframe this? And sometimes, like I've been saying before, it's a matter of like just not engaging with that person anymore. And I'm not saying like immediately the first time someone makes a mistake, cut them off. But I'm talking about the people that are consistently doing the same things over and over and over again, and you've talked to them and it doesn't change anything. It's not going to, because it's an inconvenience to them to change anything. It's easier for them to just tell you that they are going to change and then not change anything, or gaslight you and make you feel like you're the problem. You're not the problem. You're not the problem. You're the answer. Honestly, you're the solution. You're the answer, and they will regret it later on down the road. They'll see your light. You'll have this success, and they won't be able to participate in it because they burn that bridge, and that's going to be a karmic lesson for them, right? One that's necessary, because obviously that's a lesson that they have to learn. So just keep moving forward, because in your future, you are going to be walking into one enchanted evening, the perfect night. So whatever this like accomplishment, this manifestation, this financial gain that you're looking for, whatever it is, it's gonna be hitting you it'll be like one night. It'll be like one big bang, and all of a sudden your whole world changes. You know, like this is the kind of energy where like someone goes viral, or you know, all of a sudden they win the lottery, or like they run into somebody in an elevator and all of a sudden it's like the person that you've been trying to get in contact with to hear your elevator pitch, for example, for, you know, years, and all of a sudden here they are, and you nail it, and it's like your life changes. You know, it's like where you land that role that you wanted in that play or that movie. It's that kind of energy. It's going to be like game changer, like nothing, you're feeling like nothing is going to happen, and it's like bam, it's here. You know, it's so exciting. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. Like I was saying before, I'm running that contest. So if you want to participate, subscribe to the channel and comment below. If you have suggestions about future readings, please let me know, because I'll definitely do them. Check out my TikTok. I do daily reads over there, and you can kind of treat the feed like a giant pick a card, right? Just scroll, whatever jumps out at you, that's your message. And I am going to be doing monthly lives on TikTok, so you can ask me direct questions. You know, I will answer your questions over on TikTok, so you can get kind of like a mini reading. And if anyone is interested in having a long form personalized reading, or having a Reiki session done, or having a mediumship session done, because I do channeling as well, I can do Akashic Records readings, you can go to my website, odessamall.com, and you can check out all of my services and my booking information there. So I am so glad that we connected today. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Welcome back, pile number 3. So in case you missed the intro, I want to let you know I'm running a contest this month. You can win a free reading with me. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and comment below. If you're already subscribed, that's great. Thank you so much for the support. Leave a comment below and it will increase your odds of winning, because the app that I use does take into consideration all of the comments you provide as well. And today's reading is a viewer suggestion. So if you have suggestions on different types of readings you would like me to do, please comment them below, because I will definitely do them. You picked the citrine, so I'm just going to put your crystal over there, and let's get into these cards. So these are healing messages from your angels to provide you guidance. You got the card Starseed. Raise the vibration of the planet through your radiant, loving light. Magic Guardian. Unlock the magic within. Oh boy. Part 3. Protection. Luck is on your sign. New moon in Sagittarius. A fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. Oh my God. Pile number 3. You got dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Humpback whale. Music is essential to your healing and well-being, whether singing, playing an instrument, or listening. What? This is crazy. Oh my God. And you got 2 crystal cards. I thought I had only pulled 1 for each pile. This is exciting. Okay, so you got hematite, detoxifying, courage, and balance. And it says on the back of the card that it's connected to the root chakra. It's also connected to the astrological signs for Aquarius or Aries. So you might have your sun in either of those signs, or those might be at prominent placements in your chart. It also says, I bring balance and focus to my life, and hematite absorbs negative energy while calming in times of stress. It helps with balance and equilibrium. It helps with difficulty focusing. It is a protective stone, keeping us grounded and protected against electromagnetic smog. And it's connected to the protea, courage, transformation, and diversity. That is so wild. The protea is, I believe it's the national flower for South Africa, or it might just be connected to Cape Town. I don't know. I went to South Africa a couple of times, and then Protea. Every time I see it, that's what I think of. So hematite. Then you also got jade, stability, prosperity, harmony, and it's connected to the heart chakra and the astrological sign for Libra. And it says here, my life is fulfilled with abundance. That's the affirmation. And the energy of jade is a symbol of serenity and purity with a loving and nurturing energy. This stone protects the wearer from harm and brings in harmony. It helps release negative thoughts and stimulates ideas and dreams. And it's connected to the dandelion. And the dandelion is a symbol of prosperity, harmony, and perseverance. Oh my God. Okay, so pile number 3. You are very accomplished spiritual people from what I'm seeing here. I would not be surprised at all if you work in the healing arts or in the spiritual realms in some way, whether that has to do with your career or whether it's just a hobby. It's definitely here in the cards, because the magic guardian, then protection, and it has an image of Gaia, Mother Earth, who master manifester, the creator of all life on Earth here, and then starseed, which is talking about, it's talking about the origins of our soul and the concept that some souls come from soul origins that aren't rooted in earth. So they might have had past lives in different places that were not on earth, at a higher vibration. And from my perspective, there are different layers of reality, and they vibrate at a different vibration, and you can have different existences. So this is definitely indicating that you probably have an aptitude for reading energy. You might have psychic skills such as claircognizance, which is clear knowing, like you just know something is going to happen before it happens. You might have clairvoyance as well. You could have any of the clairs, to be honest. Like, all psychic abilities are really fine-tuned and honed within this energy of the starseed. Telepathy is coming forward. Now, that would be coming forward with strong connections that you have with other people. So if you have had experiences of telepathy, reading another person's thoughts, or knowing someone was doing something or in distress when they weren't around you, it's most likely occurred between you and another person or a pet that you're very close with. But you would definitely have an aptitude for that. And if you've wondered that, this is the confirmation, my friend. You can definitely do that. Reiki, they keep saying Reiki, Reiki, Reiki. So you might have an aptitude for energy healing. Even if you've never taken any training, you might have had the feeling like you wanted to place your hands on somebody and, you know, just convey love to them, which is the root of energetic healing. So that's what I'm seeing, that you definitely have these magical aptitudes, and I feel like you know what you're supposed to be doing in this life, because with new moon in Sagittarius, the bow and arrow to me always makes me think of Artemis, and the energy of that symbol is talking about fixing your gaze on a goal and focusing all your energy towards achieving it. And this is new moon, so this is talking about you're manifesting. I think that you are possibly even trying to shift your energy, like shift away from an old way of thinking. Yeah, shift your energy away from maybe the traditional into more the mystical. I think that, like, you might have had a tower moment, or like some sort of great epiphany where you're like, oh my God, I am magical AF. And I need to lean into this more. And nobody around you was understanding what was going on. And you just started honing your skills and moving towards that. Like, that could be that you got interested in astrology or tarot or numerology, or you were just interested in plant medicine, like herbology, the traditional, like Ayurvedic medicine, like traditional healing techniques. This could have been interest in Reiki. It could have been interest in mythology too. Like you like, cause I'm getting energy where they're like bringing forward different mythologies, like Greek, Egyptian, like Norse mythology. Like there's a whole bunch of like this could be mythology from anywhere around the world that you're just interested in, and it's like you're reading it and it's just making sense. Like, not that you didn't hear some of these stories before in the past, but you're like hearing it with like in a different way. You know, your ears are open to like hearing it in a different way. You're seeing things through new eyes. And it's bringing you a lot of balance and prosperity, but there's also, I feel like, this energy of sadness about the end of what was. I'm not, for some of you, it might actually be very toxic energy that you're letting go of, but I don't get the energy that these are people that are still in your life. I don't get the energy that these are necessarily people that you're still close with. It's just that they're still there in your energy field. Like they're still in your thoughts. You're still thinking about whatever happened in the past. And you're at a stage now where you're gonna need to release all of that. It could be that the people are still in your life and you need to release them. But I think for a lot of you, there'll be just negative thoughts and like connections to the past that you need to release. And yeah, because they're saying to me cord cutting. So you need to remove that person from your energetic system. I'm getting the feeling that you're probably empaths, especially with this starseed energy, all of these mystical energies coming forward as well. And like the hematite really being a stone that like is protecting you against electromagnetic static and smog, which is like the electromagnetic energy that comes off of a lot of our electronics. But it's making me think of cords. And whenever we interact with another person, our auric fields interact, right? Our energetic system, our auric field, radiates outside of our body up to 8 feet. So that means that you can be standing like 16 feet away from another person and your auric fields will still be touching. Now the reason for that, and they blend, right? They blend and merge together. The reason for that is because you are gaining psychic information. So you might have had experiences where you walk into a room and you can just feel the temperature of the room, or you can tell that someone isn't going to be healthy in your life. You can't put your finger on why. You know, you meet someone, a good friend's new boyfriend, and you're like, I don't like him. And you don't know why you think that. You just know that he's not going to be good to her or him. And eventually you get proven right. But that might have caused you problems in the past because people thought you were being judgmental. No, it's your psychic abilities coming forward, especially the starseed energy where you're reading their energy. But when that blending takes place, because you might not have necessarily been putting up barriers for yourself, protective shields, you are allowing their energy to sort of draw on your energy. We end up with an energetic cord. And the more we interact with someone, the stronger and stronger and stronger that cord gets. This is a natural part of our energetic system. It happens for every single person. So I'm a Reiki healer. So when I meet with a client for the first time, typically what I see in their system is they have large cords that are energetically attached to people that they have had close relationships with. Sometimes the people are in their lives still, but sometimes they haven't seen those people 20, 30 years and the cord is still in place, because it's going to be in place until it's severed. Because typically it's a lower vibrational person drawing on energy from the higher vibrational person, because their energetic system is at a weaker state. And that's where like the idea of the energetic vampire comes from. It's from these cords. And by severing the cord, you can separate your energy from the other person. So they don't continually, that trauma doesn't continually bounce around in your mind. Now, you do get cords from people that you have very limited interactions with. Like you can have what I refer to as like noodle cords or candy floss cords, that it's like energy that's attached to you that's from talking to the cashier at the grocery store, going to get gas, like talking to the like mail delivery person, all of that. You're always, always, always interacting with another person, and they are attaching cords, because whether they acknowledge that they use their psychic abilities or not, their system is. It's just a natural function of being human. So the energy I get is that you have these cords to these people that you've had attachment with in the past, and it needs to be severed. And there's a bunch of different ways that you can do that. You can see a Reiki healer, like you could see myself. Not all Reiki healers do cord cutting. I definitely do. I include that in all of my sessions. I do cord cutting, but you can do things like meditating and praying, asking your guides and angels to help you to dissolve cords. You can do ritualistic magic. You're definitely interested in magic, so you could do a cord cutting spell with like candles and like an actual cord or a twine. When you do that, definitely make sure that everything is set up on a plate, make sure that you're using candle holders that are not going to be able to catch on fire or are not going to react badly to heat, because a lot of heat is created. You wouldn't think so, but it is way more intense than just lighting 2 candles. When I did a cord cutting at the beginning of my journey, it literally lit the candle holders on fire. It was insane. So a lot of energy gets released because it's more than just the candles. So make sure you're using candle holders, like a metal candle holder is what I would recommend. And make sure they're also not on something that could be flammable. Like I wouldn't keep my candles on this raffia mat, like a nice, like even a metal like baking sheet or something where like if anything falls, it's safe. And just make sure that you are also using a natural cord and not a synthetic. Now, one, it's because you're going to be burning it, so it's better for the environment and also for yourself. You don't want to be ingesting toxic fumes from a plastic cord or something like that. But that's definitely coming forward, and I feel like you just have to do a lot of cleansing and detoxifying. The energy I'm getting here is a need to ground and shield yourself. So you want to, if you don't meditate, I highly recommend you start. Now, a lot of people assume that you have to sit in meditation in complete silence and have like no thoughts in your mind. I never meditate that way. Like that I would fall asleep, and I do every time I try to do that. When I meditate, I like to listen to binaural beats, and I put a sleep mask on, and I just allow my thoughts to just drift Now, if I find myself ruminating on something, I redirect, because we want to move away from low vibrational thoughts or a tendency to ruminate or worry about things, because we're constantly manifesting. You're constantly manifesting at all times. So if you think about positive things, you're manifesting that. You think about negative things, you're manifesting that. There's never a moment where you're not manifesting. Our thoughts become things. So be careful about that. I mean, that can feel kind of overwhelming, because you're like, oh my God, well, when do I just get to vent? Well, vent, but give yourself a time frame, like, okay, today I'm going to just be mad, and I'm going to, complain, and I'm going to say nasty things to myself about whatever is going on in my life, and I am going to just indulge in that, and maybe I'll eat junk food, and I'll have a whole day to just do that. But then when that day is over, then you have to start redirecting back to positive thoughts. Not because I don't want you to ever be able to, purge your feelings. It's because if you put more energy into the complaining, you will invest more of your energy in that, which will magnetize more of that kind of stuff to you. And I don't want you to be experiencing more of these situations with people where you need to cut cords. We sometimes have to retrain ourselves to regulate our emotions and do self-care. And basically teach ourselves the things that our parents should have taught us, or the adults around us, but they didn't do it because they didn't know how to do it either, right? So somewhere along the lines, we need to stop that pattern and step in and do the care for ourselves. We have to parent ourselves, right? And I feel like that's partially at play here for some of you. There's a need for you to sort of step in and find the balance for yourself. Yeah, definitely try a walking meditation, maybe. You just walk around your neighborhood or in a park somewhere and just pay attention to nature, because it's getting you to focus your mind. Plus, you're psychic, so the universe will be communicating with you through nature. You got protection and Gaia. So there will be synchronicities that are happening around you from the birds that are around you. If you see a bird that catches your eye, or you see a particular bird regularly, look up what the meaning of that bird is, because it will definitely be a message. Absolutely. The other day, I saw a message, I received a message from my guides by seeing a cardinal. I could hear it, and I looked up, and there was just one tree that was completely bare, and there's this beautiful chubby red cardinal at the very top of the tree, just singing its heart's content. And the cardinal is a symbol of grounding yourself, the root chakra, and it has this beautiful call, which is also connected to speaking your truth on a spiritual level, because the cardinal is connected to messages from the divine and spiritual guidance. That's why in the Roman Catholic Church they have cardinals. So it was a very meaningful message to me. You do have to do a little bit of research, because what I feel like is you know that you're spiritual, or you're embarking on that journey now, learning how spiritual you are, how gifted you are is what I mean. And you kind of know what direction you're supposed to be going towards, but there is these cycles that you kind of need to close out, remove the energy that's sort of lingering around, so that you can really step into your true power, because there is a fiery climax that's approaching. And this is a card that's talking about you really being able to take charge. You might be sort of confused about what you're supposed to be doing. Your guides and angels are talking to me about how it's you got the idea in a loose way of what you're supposed to be doing, and then then it stopped, and you're like, but what am I supposed to do with this? Like, how am I supposed to execute this? And you're like frustrated by it. But, God, I understand this. This has happened to me so many times. They give you the idea and then they just go silent. It's because you're supposed to be doing self-care. You're supposed to be preparing. It's all about divine timing, right? So the universe is working with everything that's going on in other people's lives to open up opportunities for you. Because oftentimes what we don't recognize is that everyone on the planet has free will. So yes, the universe is lining up opportunities for you, but they have to convince 15 people before you to make the right decision to open up the opportunity for you. And if someone decides to make the wrong decision, then they have to go and whisper in the ear of somebody else to make the right decision. To, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're doing the best they can to get this stuff to come into your life as quickly as possible, because it's not like being in the higher dimensions where everything can just happen instantaneously. Everything has to be grounded into the physical. So that's why we have to be a little more patient when we're trying to manifest things. But we can take that time because you're totally safe, right? You got the protection card. So even if it seems like you're in a precarious position, like you're like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills in 6 months. Well, if you don't have to worry about, money or your comfort until 6 months, then you can spend a little time right now to work on your self-care and your healing. So try meditations. You can try guided meditations on YouTube. You can also try doing salt baths to detoxify your system. That's my favorite way of detoxifying the system, is having a salt bath or a salt shower. I do both every day. Like, I do have a salt shower every day and I have a salt bath once a week to soak and just get all of that foreign energy out of my auric field. Then I also do Reiki on myself, so you could have a Reiki session done, and that could also help you with cutting cords. You could spend more time in nature, not just looking for signs from the universe, but also just connecting with Gaia, like walking around outside with no shoes on, or spending time just touching the plants, because the plants that are around us are transmuting energy for us. They are, just like they absorb carbon dioxide and they release oxygen, they are doing that with lower vibrational energy and transmuting that into positive energy. So if you like plants, bring more of them into your life. And if you have trouble keeping plants alive, there are lots of plants that are really, really easy to care for. Like peace lilies are really easy to care for, because they're like they're big and lush, but it's like if they don't have enough water, they'll just start to wilt. That's your sign. Put some water on that baby. There's lots of plants that are really pathos, or I find so, like this one, I find these so easy to care for. Like, they can root in water. I don't do anything with this. It's just they're like radiating positive vibes to me. So you might want to do something like that. And journaling, and start to like manifest what you want, and try and write it in the most high vibe way that you can. Like, this is happening. Like, there's no question of it. Not like, I hope this happens. Like, I am going to have blah, 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 blah. Or this is coming effortlessly to me. I can't wait until I do X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. And start to try and like see what the rhythm around you is. Like, are you in an ebb state, or are you in a flow state? Like, if you're trying to make something happen and it's like you feel like you're up against a brick wall, well, that's probably because energetically you're in an ebb state. Just like the tides go in and out. Like, now it's time for you to sort of hermit and recharge your energy. You're definitely being asked to change your energy, because you got to dance with life, do something to change your energy. So this could be an indication that you're a dancer and that maybe you've sort of disconnected from that a little bit. Maybe there was some other priorities in your life, or you're being encouraged to go in a different direction. But you need to start getting back into that. But it could be anything energetically that you could be encouraged to do. Like this could be yoga, something physical. But definitely get back out there and do things that bring you joy, that you find fun, no matter what it is. And this humpback whale, like also with it talking about music is essential to your healing, and this one being dance, like they partner so beautifully together. So I do think there's many of you that are dancers, and you should lean into that again, because, you know, oftentimes we also get messages through movement, like many different traditions of spirituality. Their leaders, their healers, their shamans would dance to connect with spirit, just through fluid motion, just allowing their bodies to move any way that felt right. And they would start to get messages, and it would come through to them as epiphanies. Like it would all be in their own voice, like, but they know that it's coming from beyond them, because it's, you know, it is so insightful, and it's something that allows them to see the world in a way they never saw before. Like it's like somebody giving you the answer, whether they're talking to you in your own voice or not. If you're having an epiphany, you're having an epiphany. It's a miracle. Music as well. You might hear songs and it's like messages seem to come through in the songs. Like if you are just walking down the street, or you're doing something in your house and all of a sudden a song jumps into your head, look it up. Look up what the lyrics are, because it's probably a channeled message. You'll be shocked. I have a whole playlist on Spotify that are just songs from spirit. Whenever I get a song in my head that jumps into my head, no matter what it is, I put it in this playlist. And if I don't have time to look at all the lyrics in that moment, I'll come back to it later. Never, ever, ever has it not had some sort of meaning to me. So I would definitely look into that as well. So let's get some more cards for you guys and see what other messages the angels have for you. It definitely feels like you're going to be charging forward really soon. It's just a matter of you, yeah. Okay. What healing messages do you have for pile number 3? Okay, yes. So first of all, you had the moon, which is talking all about the shadow self, the things that are unseen. It's the part of ourselves that we reject often. You know, the parts of ourselves that maybe this is to do with your psychic abilities and your spirituality, but it could be anything. It could be due to your identity, and you didn't want to face that. You didn't want to reveal that to other people, or other people made you feel shame for something, and then you just buried it. But it's one of your greatest gifts. It's one of the reasons why you're here. All of the things about us are part of us for a reason, and it's up to us to integrate and balance them. Like on this card there's always 2 animals. One is a wolf, one is a dog. The dog is the energy of loyalty, but also the conventional, whereas the wolf is the energy of the wild and the free. And it's about bringing those 2 things into balance. And you are in a state right now where you're in this 10 of Wands energy, where you're carrying heavy burdens, and you've been diligently working towards, you know, this shift or change in your life, something that you're trying to manifest. Could be a new job or something like that, but it doesn't have to be. It could definitely just be you being able to be honest with the world about who you are. And you are being encouraged to recuperate, because you got the 2 of Wands in reverse, which is The Two of Wands in the upright is talking about looking towards the future and making a decision, or at least being at the crossroads. And this is in the reverse, which to me is either indicating that you know that there's a decision that you have to make and you're fighting against it. You don't want to make that decision. Or it could be that you are being encouraged to pause on making that decision. You know, the energy that I'm getting, based on what was channeled through earlier, is that you need to pause, recuperate, look at the shadow, detoxify, release these people that are still bouncing around in your own mind. Like if you have any kind of like attachments or any kind of tendencies to self-regulate or deal with, you know, your stress in an unhealthy way, and this could be like, it could be vices, it could be like something that you are consuming or doing that isn't healthy, but it could be people as well. And so we need to move that out of our lives and then focus on our own prosperity, harmony, and stability. Like what brings that to you? You could work with crystals. They could be really beneficial to you because there's so much energy coming forward to me through the cards and through what I'm channeling, that crystals will be able to help heal and ground you. And they are conductors of energy. They each vibrate at a different rate and they do have healing properties. And when you do that, then you're going to be able to finally emerge as the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is the master of the suit of wands, who is an entrepreneur. This is someone who is very stylish and attractive and charismatic and is able to charge forward, that they are a leader. They are immune to other people's criticism. They can be very motivational. They are someone that others look to. This could be somebody who's in the public eye, you know, like an influencer type of energy. But this is a person that has mastered this energy of being in their power, having firm boundaries, being able to present themselves in a really positive way that's not false, that's real. And somebody who is respected as a leader. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. You would really be able to, you know, and it partners so beautifully as well with this energy of Aries, because the energy of the two are all about fire and passion and moving forward at a rapid pace. So that partners so beautifully. So let me get some final cards. And there's definitely something to do with you being a spiritual master or having mastery in some spiritual realm. You know, maybe you're interested in divination. You might want to lean into that more too, because the whale is a symbol that is associated with higher intelligence, and it's associated, which goes back to the star seed, but it's also associated with spiritual wisdom, being able to see things from a higher perspective. Whales, they need to be near the surface of the ocean to be able to breathe. They're like the gentle giants. They harmonize and come together through the vibrations of their song. They are, they have these beautiful unified family groups, and they are selfless. They will defend other people and species from attack. They are really spiritual masters of the animal kingdom. And they're often brought forward as a symbol of spiritual wisdom that's connected to like the fifth dimension, seventh dimension, you know, the higher realms, basically. So that might speak to you a lot. You might really have an affinity for whales or ocean life. Like water in general is connected to intuition and psychic abilities, and the divine feminine. So there might be an energy here where you actually have to sort of heal your divine feminine. You might be too far into your divine masculine, because there is a lot of energy here coming forward about the divine masculine. So there might be like predominantly the people that are watching my videos are feminine, at least based on the algorithm. I mean, like, what does that even mean? But the algorithm says it's mainly girls. So there might still be a lot of men that picked group 3. So let's find out what are the final messages you would like me to share with love it. So what was I saying? Goddess energy, healing feminine energy. I was just saying that. Like, you need to heal your feminine energy. And this has the triple moon goddess. Going back to the moon card, there might have been a trauma or something attached to a woman who played a vital role in your life in the past that might have caused a mistrust of the feminine in general. Like, I mean, it could be other women, but it could be just those traits, like feeling like being more compassionate, empathetic, nurturing is a weakness instead of a strength, and it's absolutely a strength. And you've got protection, strong protective magic for the family and home. And then you got this magic guardian. You're definitely connected to spiritual work. And they're saying magic mastery. Like, you could probably really get into magic and like spell work and like literally be manifesting using ritual, because you also got earth. Ask the element of earth for grounding, stability, and strength in times of chaos. And this protection, I was talking about Gaia. That is so insane. Those two cards really partner so beautifully with these two energies. And then the final card you got is breaking bad habits, self-acceptance, excellent mental health, and letting go of vices. That's what I was freaking just talking about. Like, you might have leaned into some behavior that was not to your benefit, and that could be a wide range of things. Like, it could be things that we would consider traditionally, sort of destructive in our lives, but it could be any number of things. Anything that's throwing you off, making you feel less powerful, less beautiful, less intelligent, that's cutting you off from being able to hear the messages from your own intuition, is something that really needs to be phased out of your life. And you really need to start focusing on that feminine energy and grounding and shielding yourself. I highly recommend that you get a protective stone to, like, black tourmaline, I would work with, or even black kyanite. You could also work with snowflake obsidian. Black kyanite helps to cut cords. Black tourmaline can produce a protective barrier around your aura, deflecting the evil eye, which is like anytime somebody thinks something negative about you, they're sending negative energy towards you, which is referred to as the evil eye. It can deflect all of that, return to sender kind of thing. Both of these crystals are very fragile, so they're the kind of crystal that you would want to keep on your bedside table. Snowflake obsidian is much stronger. It's a protective stone, and it also helps to ground the energy from your crown chakra into your root chakra, so that could be really beneficial for you as well. But I definitely would work with some crystals. You could work with hematite. I don't know if I have my hematite out here. I think I put it in the other room. But that would be my recommendation to you based on what the angels are telling you. But you are going to transform. it absolutely, all of this is going to come into balance for you very, very soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Please subscribe to the channel and comment below, especially if you would like to be part of the contest to win a free reading with me. Check out my work on TikTok. I post over there every single day, and you can use my feed as kind of like a giant pick card to scroll, and when one of my readings jumps out at you, go with that. And I'm also doing live readings over on TikTok, so you might want to check out that, because there will be an opportunity for you to like meet me and directly ask me a question. And of course, if any of you are interested in having a long form reading, or if you would like to have an energetic healing done, I also do channeling sessions where I can look into your past lives, the Akashic records. You can go to my website, odessamall.com, and all of my information can be found there. So I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care.